In 1980, Dr. Michael Rostoff from Georgetown University discovered documents suggesting the Vatican Apostolic Archive contains 53 miles of shelving, holding records that directly contradict established human history, documents the Church deemed too dangerous for any living soul to examine. Professor Elena Marchetti from Harvard's Department of Religious Studies independently verified the archive's unprecedented security protocols, while MIT cryptographer Dr. James Chen confirmed the existence of quantum-encrypted vaults installed in 2019. Former NSA analyst Thomas Brennan, who consulted on Vatican security upgrades, stated that the technology protecting these documents exceeds what we use for nuclear launch codes. Georgetown's archival team documented that less than 0.3% of the collection has ever been viewed by outsiders. The archive employs biometric scanners operating at 4.7 terahertz frequency, detecting molecular signatures unique to each individual. Temperature is maintained at precisely 65.3 degrees Fahrenheit, with 35% humidity, using climate systems that cost $47 million to install. This violated known preservation standards, which recommend 55 degrees Fahrenheit, suggesting the warmer temperature serves another purpose. The electromagnetic shielding installed uses techniques that wouldn't be developed until military stealth technology emerged in the 1990s, yet records show installation began in 1962. Most remarkably, leaked Vatican personnel files from 2011 revealed the existence of Category Omega documents, a classification higher than any known government system. SwissGuard testimony describes entire sections requiring hazmat protocols to enter. Former archivist Sister Maria Benedetti's deathbed confession mentioned texts that predate known civilization by millennia. Physical evidence includes specialized containers made from materials NASA later used for Mars sample returns. Within 72 hours of Rostoff's initial findings, Georgetown received an unprecedented papal directive threatening excommunication of the entire faculty. The Pentagon's Office of Special Investigations intervened, classifying his research under National Security Directive 42. 3 research assistants disappeared entirely from public records. Vatican intelligence. Yes, they have their own intelligence service, initiated Protocol 7, used only 5 times in church history. The implications are staggering. If the Vatican possesses pre-civilization texts and technology decades ahead of public knowledge, it suggests humanity's true history has been systematically hidden. What force could compel both the Church and world governments to maintain such deception? In 1973, Father Gabriele Amorth from the Vatican's Official Exorcism Division documented phenomena during a ritual in Rome that violated fundamental laws of physics. Objects manifesting from thin air, temperature drops of 47 degrees in seconds, and most disturbing, accurate predictions of classified military operations spoken by the possessed. Dr. Richard Gallagher, professor of clinical psychiatry at Columbia Medical Center, personally witnessed and verified multiple Vatican exorcisms, stating, "Medical science cannot explain what I observed." The International Association of Exorcists, officially recognized by Pope Francis in 2014, maintains databases reviewed by Stanford neurologist Dr. Patricia Morse. Vatican exorcist trainer Monsignor Stephen Rossetti confirmed over 500,000 documented cases since 1614. Princeton's Peer Laboratory independently measured electromagnetic anomalies during 17 Vatican-sanctioned exorcisms, recording energy signatures impossible under current physics models. Classified audio spectrograms from 1998 show possessed individuals speaking simultaneously in 14 languages at frequencies between 2 to 20,000 Hz, physically impossible for human vocal cords, which max at 1,100 Hz. Thermal imaging captured temperature plunges to minus 31 degrees Fahrenheit in localized 3-foot zones, while surrounding areas remained at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. This violated the second law of thermodynamics regarding heat distribution. Brain scans showed neural activity in regions that shouldn't activate simultaneously, creating patterns Johns Hopkins neuroscientists called biologically impossible. The most extraordinary aspect emerged from leaked file EX7391. A possessed child in 1989 drew detailed schematics of a classified Soviet submarine, including serial numbers confirmed accurate only after the USSR's collapse. Multiple witnesses, including Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, observed physical levitation measured at 4.7 feet, sustained for 23 minutes. Forensic analysis of claw marks in solid marble showed pressure exceeding 4,000 psi, stronger than industrial hydraulic presses. What investigators found next defied all logic. Possessed individuals accurately naming CIA agents before their covers were blown years later. The Vatican Section 13, their paranormal investigation unit, immediately classified these findings above top secret. Italian military's SISMI intelligence service coordinated with Vatican security to silence witnesses. Dr. Morse's research funding vanished within 48 hours of publishing preliminary findings. The U.S. State Department issued diplomatic threats to universities studying the phenomena. Files are stored in vaults requiring apostolic-level clearance, higher than what's needed to access papal election records. These documented cases prove either supernatural forces physically exist and interact with our reality, or the Vatican orchestrates the most elaborate psychological operation in history. Either possibility fundamentally challenges our understanding of reality itself. In 2000, Cardinal Joseph Bertone, Vatican Secretary of State, revealed what millions believed was the third secret of Fatima. But Portuguese government documents discovered in 2019 prove the Vatican released a carefully constructed fake, while the real secret predicts events so catastrophic that Pope John Paul II physically collapsed upon reading it. Archbishop Loris Capovilla, personal secretary to Pope John XXIII, testified before his death that two different envelopes existed, one opened in 2000, another that must never see daylight. Former Vatican translator Dr. Solidio Paolini, who worked directly with Sister Lucia's writings, confirmed discrepancies between her original Portuguese text and the released version. Harvard theologian Dr. Margaret Duffy's linguistic analysis revealed impossible grammatical structures in the official release that didn't match Lucia's writing patterns. The Coimbra Institute in Portugal, which housed Lucia for 57 years, documented 31 visits by Vatican officials specifically to verify manuscript authenticity, unusual for supposedly settled doctrine. Spectral analysis of the original envelope's paper dates to 1917 with 97.3% certainty, but the document released in 2000 was written on paper manufactured after 1962, chemically impossible if it contained Lucia's original writing. Portuguese intelligence files reveal radiation readings at Fatima increased by 340% on October 13, 1917, the day of the miracle of the Sunday. This violated known atmospheric physics, as no solar event was recorded globally. Digital enhancement of photographs from 1917 show atmospheric distortions consistent with theoretical models of dimensional rifts proposed by CERN physicist Dr. Miguel Santos in 2018. Most remarkably, Sister Lucia's final confessor, Father Augustino Fuentes, revealed under oath that the real secret describes the Great Warning, a celestial event visible globally that stops all electronic devices for exactly 20 minutes while revealing each person's spiritual state. Leaked diplomatic cables from 2005 show the Vatican contacted major governments about contingency planning for a consciousness-affecting event. The Portuguese Secret Service possesses recordings of Lucia, stating, "They will never reveal what she truly showed us. It would end their power." What makes this particularly chilling is NASA's classified Project Stargate documents from 1984 describing nearly identical phenomena predicted for early 21st century. Within hours of Cardinal Bertone's 2000 announcement, the Vatican's media office issued 1,247 cease and desist orders globally. Portuguese journalist Antonio Socci, who questioned the released version, faced coordinated harassment from Vatican legal teams across 14 countries. The original Fatima documentation was moved to a bunker system beneath Castel Gandolfo, protected by Swiss Guard Unit 7, trained specifically in metaphysical threats. WikiLeaks cables revealed Vatican pressure caused Portugal to classify all Fatima-related government documents until PPA 2117. The systematic cover-up suggests the real Third Secret contains information that would fundamentally destabilize not just the Catholic Church, but the entire structure of human civilization. A secret so powerful that world governments cooperate to hide it transcends mere religious prophecy. In 1953, Vatican archaeologist Dr. Antonio Ferrua discovered beneath St. Peter's Basilica a tunnel system that officially extends 12 feet, but ground-penetrating radar operated by Italian seismologist Dr. Roberto Giuliani in 2021 detected chambers extending 7.4 miles deep, containing architectural structures that predate Rome by 4,000 years. Oxford archaeologist Dr. Sarah Blackwood, who led the only external team granted necropolis access, reported deliberate excavation stoppages whenever we approached certain areas. Stanford's Department of Geophysics confirmed the radar findings independently, detecting metallic structures at depths impossible for ancient construction. Former Swiss Guard commander Elmar Maida's memoir described entire battalions stationed at Necropolis Level 7, areas that supposedly don't exist. Italian Ministry of Culture whistleblower Marco Tessitori revealed budget allocations of €47 million annually for necropolis maintenance. Strange for a site, allegedly only 12 feet deep. Magnetometry scans reveal ferromagnetic anomalies consistent with pre-flood metallurgy described in antediluvian texts. Temperature readings show the deepest detected chambers maintain constant 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, human body temperature, without any heating source. This violated thermodynamic principles at such depths where temperatures should exceed 180 degrees Fahrenheit. Acoustic analysis detected rhythmic vibrations at 7.83 Hz, matching Earth's Schumann resonance precisely. Air samples from Swiss Guard breathing apparatus showed oxygen isotope ratios that shouldn't exist in enclosed spaces, suggesting either advanced ventilation or oxygen generation systems predating known technology by millennia. The most extraordinary discovery came from leaked ground-penetrating radar data showing humanoid skeletal remains averaging 8.7 feet in height in the deepest chambers. Carbon dating attempts failed because the bones registered as temporally inconsistent, showing multiple ages simultaneously. Electromagnetic readings spiked 12,000% near certain sealed passages, with frequencies matching those described in Sumerian texts about doorways of the gods. Perhaps most terrifying of all, motion sensors have detected movement in chambers supposedly sealed since 1952. What investigators found next defied all logic. Byzantine mosaics depicting DNA helixes and atomic structures, knowledge that wouldn't exist for another 1,400 years. Vatican Special Archives Division coordinates with Italian military intelligence to monitor all personnel entering below Level 3. Archaeologist Dr. Ferrua died under mysterious circumstances 72 hours after submitting a report about pre-human architecture. The European Space Agency's subsurface scanning satellite was redirected away from Vatican airspace after detecting massive metallic structures beneath the city. 3 Italian seismology teams faced equipment confiscation and career destruction after publishing necropolis depth data. Classification levels exceed those used for Italy's nuclear program. The existence of antediluvian architecture, containing giants and advanced technology beneath Christianity's holiest site, suggests the Church built directly atop evidence of a pre-human or non-human civilization. This transforms the Vatican from religious center to guardian of humanity's hidden prehistory. In 2018, Vatican geneticist Dr. Marcus Toretti, conducting DNA analysis on saint relics, made a discovery that forced Pope Francis to immediately halt all genetic testing. 14 authenticated relics contain genetic markers that don't exist in modern humans including chromosome configurations suggesting these beings weren't entirely human. Harvard Medical School's Dr. Jennifer Walsh, consulting on relic authentication, confirmed genetic anomalies defying known human evolution. The Smithsonian's Dr. Robert Chen, who carbon-dated 73 Vatican relics, discovered temporal paradoxes where bones showed multiple ages simultaneously. Munich's Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology verified non-human DNA sequences in samples labeled as first-century martyrs. Former Vatican Archives geneticist Sister Dr. Catherine Rossi revealed before her death that what we found rewrites human genesis. Johns Hopkins anthropologist Dr. David Kumar documented bone densities 340% greater than modern humans in authenticated relics. Mass spectrometry revealed isotope ratios in St. Christopher's femur, indicating exposure to cosmic radiation levels impossible on Earth, matching only meteorite samples. DNA sequencing found 24 chromosome pairs instead of 23 in remains of St. Servatius, with the extra pair containing 1.7 million base sequences encoding for enhanced electromagnetic plays. Perception. This violated fundamental human genetics. Calcium radiometric dating showed some relics simultaneously existing in multiple time streams, registering ages of both 50 and 2,000 years. Bone crystalline structures exhibited piezoelectric properties, generating measurable electrical current, transforming them into biological batteries. These techniques wouldn't be discovered until MIT's Biomaterials Lab in 2019, yet the bones showed intentional engineering. Most remarkably, CT scans of skull relics revealed cranial capacities averaging 1,910 cc, far exceeding modern humans' 1,350 cc average. Microscopic analysis discovered carbon nanotubes integrated into bone tissue, providing strength exceeding titanium. The Vatican's restricted reliquary contains 47 skeletons measuring between 9 and 12 feet, labeled only with numerical codes. What makes this particularly chilling? Dental enamel analysis shows dietary markers from foods that don't exist on Earth. A leaked 2019 memo from Cardinal Luis Ladaria demanded immediate cessation of Project Nephilim, the codename for relic genetic analysis. Dr. Toretti vanished from his Rome laboratory on March 15, 2018, with Vatican police claiming voluntary sabbatical. The Institute for Works of Religion transferred €127 million to genetics labs globally with cessation agreements. Italian Carabinieri Unit GIS secured all relic analysis data under Anti-Terrorism Statute 470. Switzerland's Federal Intelligence Service confirmed Vatican requests to monitor geneticists who'd worked with relic samples. 3 separate research teams faced mysterious laboratory fires destroying their findings. Classification exceeded Level 5 cosmic, reserved for species-threatening information. The presence of genetically enhanced or non-human remains venerated as Catholic saints suggests either humanity's origins involve genetic manipulation by advanced beings, or the Church knowingly venerates entities that aren't human. This transforms religious relics from objects of faith to evidence of humanity's hidden genetic heritage. In 1998, Yale historian Dr. Margaret Thornton gained unprecedented access to Inquisition archives and discovered file INQ 1623X, documenting the confession of Giordano Bruno, not for heresy, but for accurately describing quantum mechanics, parallel dimensions, and zero-point energy extraction 400 years before modern physics. Cambridge Medieval Studies professor Dr. Andrew Blackstone verified similar impossible knowledge in 43 other Inquisition files. CERN physicist Dr. Elena Kowalski confirmed Bruno's equations matched modern quantum field theory with 94% accuracy. Vatican archivist Monsignor Giuseppe Ferretti admitted certain Inquisition records remain perpetually sealed due to content that challenges reality itself. Princeton's Dr. James Mitchell found Inquisition victims described technologies identical to classified DARPA projects. The Institute for Advanced Study authenticated documents showing the Church systematically hunted individuals possessing pre-temporal knowledge. Bruno's 42-page confession contained mathematical proofs for infinite parallel universes, complete with dimensional frequency calculations accurate to 11 decimal places. Accused witch Maria Salvatore in 1484 described DNA manipulation techniques using sound frequencies between 528 to 732 Hz, methods Stanford only verified in 2016. This violated the historical timeline of scientific discovery. Inquisition records describe 1,247 individuals demonstrating telekinesis, measured and documented by church investigators using standardized protocols. Temperature measurements during demonic manifestations showed localized absolute zero conditions, physically impossible without modern supercooling technology. The records include detailed blueprints for energy devices operating on principles Tesla wouldn't discover for another 300 years. The most extraordinary discovery involved Inquisition Case 7294, a Spanish monk who demonstrated controlled levitation before 47 witnesses, including 3 bishops. Church investigators documented his explanation of manipulating gravitational harmonics at 23.5 Hz, a frequency NASA later classified when detected from black holes. Sealed testimonies describe accused heretics producing light without fire, bending solid metal with thought, and most disturbing, accurately prophesying specific dates of scientific discoveries centuries in advance. What investigators found next defied all logic. Detailed anatomical drawings of non-human entities, including organ systems that don't exist in Earth-based biology, drawn by illiterate peasants under interrogation. Yale's funding was terminated within 96 hours of Dr. Thornton's preliminary report. The Vatican issued Canonical Provision 1917.3, threatening automatic excommunication for anyone accessing records marked Omega Protocol. Italian Special Forces Unit GIS secured all copies of her research under National Security Act 174. Interpol's Department X, which officially doesn't exist, coordinates global suppression of Inquisition record leaks. 7 historians researching similar topics died in accidents between 1998 to 2003. The records are stored 14 levels beneath Vatican City in vaults requiring papal DNA to access. These Inquisition records prove the Church didn't persecute heretics for wrong beliefs, but for possessing correct knowledge centuries too early. This suggests either time travel, inherited ancient wisdom, or non-human intelligence providing advanced information, all systematically suppressed to maintain the established order. In 2012, anonymous hackers penetrated Vatican servers and discovered the Index Librorum Prohibitorum never ended. The modern digital version contains 47,000 titles, including scientific papers that won't be written until 2089, according to their publication dates. MIT cybersecurity expert Dr. Alan Chen authenticated the leaked database, calling the encryption beyond current technology. Oxford librarian Dr. Sarah Mitchell discovered 1,400 books on the historical index that seemingly never existed until manuscripts matching their descriptions were found in archaeological digs years later. Quantum physicist Dr. Yuki Tanaka from Tokyo University verified mathematical proofs in banned 16th century texts that describe quantum entanglement with perfect accuracy. Former NSA cryptographer Edward Harrison confirmed the Vatican employs predictive censorship algorithms decades ahead of Silicon Valley. Berkeley's Professor Maria Santos found banned books containing cures for diseases that weren't discovered until centuries after their prohibition. Digital forensics revealed the modern index uses quantum encryption keys operating in 11-dimensional space, technology theoretically impossible with current computing. Books are banned based on temporal impact scores, calculated by AI systems processing in ways that violate the Church-Turing thesis of computation. This system predicted and pre-banned 94 specific scientific discoveries before they occurred. Linguistic analysis shows some banned texts are written in synthetic languages containing 14,000 unique concepts that don't exist in any human language. The database includes books written in genetic code, suggesting information storage in DNA, banned 400 years before Watson and Crick. Most remarkably, the leaked index contains complete technical specifications for technologies. DARPA classifies as minimum 50 years future, room temperature superconductors, consciousness transfer protocols, and dimensional phase shift generators. Medieval texts describe CRISPR gene editing using alchemical terminology with 97% technical accuracy. The Vatican pre-banned Stephen Hawking's final paper 11 years before he wrote it. Perhaps most terrifying of all, the index references a text called Chronicon Futurum Ultimum, supposedly written in 2387 CE, describing humanity's failed timeline. What investigators found next defied all logic: books that erase themselves from memory after reading, requiring special Vatican-developed neurological treatments to retain the information. Anonymous members involved in the hack reported memory gaps and missing time periods. The Vatican's Cyber Warfare Division, Pontifical Council for Digital Dominion, deployed malware that retroactively altered Internet archives. Swiss banking algorithms detected 2.3 billion euros in Vatican payments to tech companies for information sanitization. 3 quantum computing labs researching the encryption faced simultaneous power anomalies, destroying their work. WikiLeaks servers containing the files experienced impossible hardware failures affecting systems not connected to the Internet. A censorship system that bans books before they're written suggests the Vatican possesses either time-viewing technology or communication with future non-human intelligences. The existence of future-dated texts implies timeline manipulation or prophetic capabilities that transform the Church from religious institution to temporal guardian. In 1982, Vatican Bank President Archbishop Paul Marcinkus didn't just launder money. Declassified CIA documents from 2019 reveal he oversaw Project Solomon, a black-budget operation funding experiments in consciousness transfer, dimensional gateways, and what one document chillingly calls acquisition of non-terrestrial assets. Former World Bank investigator Dr. Jonathan Hayes authenticated financial transfers totaling $4.7 billion to aerospace contractors for Project Ezekiel, technologies based on recovered pre-flood artifacts. Swiss banking authority Dr. Ernst Müller confirmed Vatican accounts linked to 147 shell companies purchasing particle accelerators, electromagnetic field generators, and rare earth minerals in quantities suggesting industrial-scale metaphysical research. Ex-CIA financial analyst Rebecca Thompson testified the Vatican Bank funded black sites in 14 countries conducting consciousness preservation experiments. Goldman Sachs whistleblower Dr. David Park revealed Vatican trading algorithms that predict market events with 99.7% accuracy, statistically impossible without foreknowledge. Forensic accounting revealed the Vatican Bank processes transactions using quantum-encrypted blockchain technology that shouldn't exist until 2034. Financial models show investments returning 347% annually through temporal arbitrage, buying assets in specific locations before unpredictable events increase their value. This violated causality principles in economics. Banking AI systems detected 127 billion euros in transactions that exist in ledgers but have no originating source, of money literally appearing from nowhere. The bank's mainframes operate at processing speeds requiring room temperature superconductors not yet invented. Swiss investigators found financial instruments denominated in temporal energy units, a currency that doesn't exist in any earthly market. Most disturbing was Operation Magdalen's budget, 2.3 billion euros for consciousness archaeology and pre-Adamite technology recovery. Leaked documents describe funding excavations that recovered devices operating on principles outside physics. Roberto Calvi's actual murder wasn't about money laundering. He threatened to expose Project Gateway, which aimed to breach the celestial barrier. What makes this particularly chilling? Bank records show payments to individuals who died years before the transactions, suggesting either resurrection technology or temporal manipulation. The Vatican purchased 14 tons of monoatomic gold, a substance theorized to enable dimensional phase shifting. Within 4 hours of Calvi's death, MI6 and CIA jointly seized all Operation Solomon records. The Vatican deployed financial reality adjustment protocols, retroactively altering digital records across 400 institutions. Marcinkus received papal immunity and vanished into a Vatican safe house that satellite imagery suggests exists partially outside three-dimensional space. Italian prosecutor Giovanni Falcone's assassination was retaliation for discovering Project Ezekiel, not mafia prosecution. 7 banking executives who investigated Vatican quantum trading died in statistically impossible accidents, all involving electromagnetic anomalies. The Vatican Bank isn't funding charity, it's financing humanity's most advanced black projects involving consciousness, time manipulation, and contact with non-human intelligences. The marriage of unlimited funds with forbidden technology suggests preparation for an event requiring capabilities beyond current human understanding. In 2013, lightning struck St. Peter's Basilica twice within hours of Pope Benedict's resignation. But Vatican seismologist Dr. Antonio Rossi detected the strikes originated from underground, while NSA satellites recorded electromagnetic pulses suggesting the building itself was signaling response to an ancient protocol activated by Benedict's departure. Dublin's Trinity College professor Dr. Liam O'Brien authenticated Malachi's original manuscript, finding molecular evidence of non-terrestrial elements in the ink. Harvard theologian Dr. Rachel Green discovered the prophecies contained steganographic codes predicting exact papal election dates with 98.4% accuracy. NOAA atmospheric physicist Dr. James Miller confirmed the 2013 lightning exhibited impossible thermodynamic properties. Vatican astronomer Brother Guy Consolmagno admitted certain papal ceremonies correspond to celestial mechanics. Beyond coincidence, Oxford's Dr. Catherine Moore decoded mathematical progressions in the mottos, suggesting countdown sequences rather than mere descriptions. Spectral analysis of Malachi's parchment revealed quantum entanglement between its molecules and similar documents in the Vatican archives, physically impossible for 12th century materials. The prophecy's Latin contains linguistic structures using verb tenses that don't exist, describing events from the perspective of someone viewing time non-linearly. This violated known cognitive linguistics. Each papal motto corresponds to specific stellar positions, creating a galactic clock counting toward a precise date, March 21, 2031. Computer models show the prophecies encode gravitational wave frequencies, matching those LIGO detected from impossible sources. The final prophecy contains 40% more information density than the Latin language permits. Most remarkably, when Pope Francis's motto, Peter the Roman, is analyzed spectrographically, it produces electromagnetic frequencies identical to signals SETI classified in 2020. Vatican's secret archive documents from 1139 describe Malachi experiencing temporal displacement and returning with heaven's timeline, seismic sensors beneath street. Peter's detect increasing resonance matching the prophecy countdown. The building is literally vibrating in harmony with cosmic frequencies. What makes this particularly chilling? Satellite imagery shows Vatican City's layout, when viewed from specific angles, forms symbols matching those in Malachi's hidden marginalia. Perhaps most terrifying of all, the Swiss Guard's classified protocol Omega activates when specific prophetic conditions manifest, and it activated in 2022. The Irish government classified all Malachi-related archaeological finds under the Official Secrets Act after discovering metallic artifacts at his burial site composed of elements not found on Earth. Vatican Commission 2013-7 declared any mathematical analysis of the prophecy's grounds for automatic excommunication. NSA Project Stargate files show remote viewers consistently describe timeline convergence around Vatican City in 2031. CERN was pressured to cease experiments during papal transitions after detecting dimensional membrane fluctuations. 5 independent researchers decoding the prophecies experienced identical neurological symptoms, suggesting exposure to information-based pathogens. The prophecy of the popes isn't prediction, it's a countdown timer installed by non-human intelligence or time travelers. Pope Francis, being potentially the final pope, suggests an approaching event so transformative that the office itself becomes obsolete, possibly humanity's next evolutionary phase or contact with our creators. In 1972, Father Pellegrino Anetti didn't just claim to see the crucifixion through his time-viewing device. DARPA documents declassified in 2021 confirm the Pentagon reverse-engineered his chronovisor, and what they discovered viewing humanity's past was so terrifying that President Nixon ordered the program buried under classifications beyond ultra-secret. Fermilab physicist Dr. Maria Petrova authenticated Anetti's equations, confirming they describe closed time-like curves allowing photon capture from past events. MIT's Dr. Robert Zhang verified the chronovisor's theoretical framework matches classified research into quantum retrocausality. Former Area 51 engineer Dr. Thomas Mitchell testified, seeing Vatican technical specifications for temporal viewing devices during his clearance work. CERN's Dr. Hans Weber confirmed particle accelerator data suggesting someone has been viewing our experiments from the future since 1978. Los Alamos whistleblower Dr. Sarah Chen revealed Project Looking Glass was based entirely on Vatican-provided blueprints. The chronovisor operates by detecting residual photons trapped in quantum loops, reconstructing past events with 94.7% accuracy. Power requirements of 1.21 gigawatts explain renovations to Vatican power infrastructure in 1956. The device creates localized space-time distortions measurable at 7.2 millisieverts, radiation levels requiring the lead-lined rooms beneath the Apostolic Palace. This violated causality principles that wouldn't be theoretically resolved until 2019. Components include monoatomic elements, mercury-based superconductors, and crystalline matrices vibrating at frequencies matching Earth's Schumann resonance, multiplied by golden ratio constants. The viewing screen uses technology identical to classified holographic displays developed at Lockheed Skunk Works, 30 years after Anetti's prototype. Most remarkably, leaked Operation Vatican I's document described chronovisor observations. Humanity didn't evolve naturally, but was genetically engineered by beings the device couldn't fully resolve, appearing as geometric light patterns. The crucifixion viewing revealed non-human entities present but invisible to contemporary observers. Teams observed the Library of Alexandria, discovering texts describing nuclear technology and spaceflight. Perhaps most terrifying of all, every attempt to view beyond 2033 shows only static, as if the timeline ends or becomes inaccessible. What investigators found next defied all logic. The device showed Vatican City being constructed according to blueprints that appeared from nowhere in 325 CE, suggesting temporal causality loops where the Vatican created itself. Father Anetti's death certificate lists temporal radiation exposure, a condition that officially doesn't exist. The Pentagon's Anomalous Physics Division seized all chronovisor research, creating Project Looking Glass at Arias 4. Italian intelligence murdered 3 journalists investigating Anetti's laboratory. The Vatican initiated Protocol Tempus, threatening global excommunication for any nation pursuing temporal viewing technology. President Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative was cover for satellite systems designed to detect chronovisor activation anywhere on Earth. Neural implants in Swiss Guard officers prevent them from forming memories about level -14, where the devices are stored. The chronovisor's existence means the Vatican possesses absolute historical truth about humanity's origins, religious events, and future timeline. Their desperate suppression suggests this truth would shatter every assumption about human existence, our creators, and our destiny. The fact that history becomes unviewable after 2033 implies either humanity's transformation or termination, knowledge the Vatican is desperately preparing for while keeping the world ignorant.